We plough the fields and scatter. Oh, I think that's enough of that, isn't it? Yeah, I've just been out in the farm. That's something for my tea tonight. But that's not really what I wanted to show you. What did I want to show you? Oh, I know. Right, let's move that out the way. And this isn't really what I wanted to show you, but it's quite interesting. One of my neighbours is having some windows replaced, and wow, look at that. Now, this was in a window frame, and it did have cracks across it, but I've managed to extract this much, and I don't know. It could be 100 years old. Could be. I don't think I've ever seen that pattern in frosted glass, but it's rather lovely. That'll come in useful. Now, what I set out to show you was the limited progress on the layout, which is going to carry the bridge deck across like that, with a valley and a river and all sorts of good things. Now, this is taking me forever because I'm going to cover it with what some people might think is a product called Mod Rock. Now, if you're a model railway sort of chap and you buy model railway magazines and you go to model railway shows and all that sort of stuff, people will talk to you about Mod Rock. They say, oh yeah, marvellous. You build a framework for your layout and then you buy Mod Rock and you dampen it and you put it over the framework and it takes a form. I think I need to do a bit more work and a bit more thinking about this, because that's a bit of a dip, isn't it? And I've discovered that actually making random shapes is more difficult than making straight square shapes, because you don't want it to be all regimented. This is supposed to be a natural wild hillside. And being me, of course, I didn't buy Mod Rock. For my sins, no, maybe not for my sins, I have to inspect, amongst other things, first aid kits at work, and one finds bandages in first aid kits that had a best before date, if you like, a throwaway after date. Now, these should have been thrown away in July 2014, and I found them in a first aid kit, and I said, oh, this is no good at all. Now, I don't actually understand this. I suspect this is just a marketing thing, because they make a bandage, they sterilise it, and then they put it in an airtight plastic thingy, and then they say after 2014 it's no longer safe. I have to confess I don't get that, but what I do get is the bandage. I nick them. No, I don't nick them. I take them away from the safety kit and find a use for them. Now, here's a funny thing. I have not managed to work out how to open one of these without using a blade and two hands. But what we'll do, we'll show you roughly what we get up to. I wonder how many of you learnt your first aid at the hands of a delicate military sort of chap who said, the only dressing you need is a 4-inch dressing. If the wound doesn't need a 4-inch dressing, it doesn't need anything on it at all. And if it needs more than a 4-inch dressing, you're going to die anyway. So, yeah, no, I don't know. Some of you may have heard that before. What we do with this, we cut the bandagey bit off. Now, there's then a messy process. that involves an old fruit juice bottle and a paintbrush and some plaster. I'm going to mix up, am I going, no, I'm going to leave that to your imagination. You mix up some plaster, you push the bandage into the plaster, you get it nicely soaky and wet with plaster, and then you drape it over the formwork, and then you walk away and leave it to dry. And despite the hot weather we had, that actually took about 2 days to dry. I don't know if I made it too wet. And once that's sort of dry, you can do what you like with it. You can paint it, or you can glue grass all over it, or you know, paint it mud colour. Do what you like. And that way you build up slowly the hillside. That is one way of doing it, and there are plenty of other ways of doing it. You could use cardboard, you could use newspaper. I'm using old bandages and plaster. When we've got a bit more to show you, I will show you.